Well, there is Twin Cities Orthopedics, which can only mean one thing. The Vikings Museum must be close by, and it is indeed right here. I wonder what kind of Vikings history and activities and festivities are waiting for us inside. Well, it is Sunday, and it is a great day for another episode of Tommy Travels the Second. It is football Sunday, but not for the Vikings. They did not make the playoffs this year. And behind me there are some historic Vikings uniforms, and we are at the Vikings Museum in Eagan, Minnesota. This place just opened this very year, so it is time to check it out. Even if you're not a Vikings fan, there should be a lot of cool information and some history on some players you may recognize. So if you have not yet subscribed to this channel or are new, go ahead and hit subscribe right now so you don't miss out on a thing. You guys come on with me, let's go see what there is to see. And here's a little look at what the museum looks like when you walk in the door, and that is a Fran Tarkenton jersey right there. And it is even autographed right there on the front of the jersey. Some autographed cleats to go with it. That is awesome, and he is in the Hall of Fame. This is the Hall of Fame wall with all the Vikings that have made it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Jim Langer, Emmett Thomas, and my favorite, Brett Favre, is listed in the Minnesota Vikings Museum as a Viking in the Hall of Fame. That just cracks me up. And here are some of the more household name players that are in the Hall of Fame. There's Randy Moss down there, Chris Carter, Chris Dolman, and John Randall, the man who terrorized quarterbacks during his entire career. And look at this, they even have handprints from the players on these footballs. Let's see how this matches up here. Oh my God. This man had one big hand. I think he could tear a quarterback's head right off. And we are now entering an era of when the Vikings played at the Metrodome, which was not all that long ago, actually. But here is a turnstile that was actually used in that stadium that you can just go ahead and walk right through. And here's a picture of the Metrodome in Minneapolis when it was fully intact. And then right underneath that, they've got a picture of it from 2010 when the roof collapsed. That is pretty much the time when everybody in the Twin Cities knew it was time for a new stadium. By the way, when this happened, the Vikings had a game at home the next week, and that was not rectified yet. So they had to go to the Gophers football stadium, TCF Bank Stadium, and there was snow on the ground. And so people had to come and shovel, and they got this as a souvenir. I shoveled the bank, Bears versus Vikings. And they've even got some blue chairs from the old Metrodome. The Metrodome, by the way, housed not only the Vikings, but also the Twins. Yep, these are the old familiar seats I remember. The old blue seats. I've been to a lot of Twins and Vikings games in the Metrodome, and I may have sat in these seats right here. Who knows? It's kind of surreal to think about that. The stadium is gone, but the seats remain. They've got some other Vikings memorabilia here. A picture of the old Metrodome. Look at this cool Vikings jacket that they have. That is great. And then they even have an old Vikings cheerleader uniform. And we have entered the current era Viking Stadium, US Bank Stadium. And there is an actual model of the stadium, how it really looks out in front. And look at this. a whole wall of game balls. And they all mean something too. They've got this one right up here. Adrian Peterson, 2007 NFL Rookie of the Year. And Jim Marshall above that. I can't really read it, but that's okay. They have a handy dandy computer to help me do just that. So you can tell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 5 from the top row. So you just select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top row. Click on that ball. Give it a little click there, and there it is. Jim Marshall, right there. And that was because December 9th, 1979 was his last game. The Vikings defeated the Bills 10-3 for the final regular season victory of Marshall's career. Minnesota was 151, 110, and 9 during Marshall's 19 seasons with the team. And they've got a whole story like that for each and every one of these. The modern technology in this place is quite impressive. And if you know anything at all about the Vikings, you've heard of the Purple People Eaters. Carl Eller, Gary Larson, Alan Page, and of course the infamous Jim Marshall. Coming right out of the wall. And look at this, they even have a selfie opportunity where you can join in the Viking celebration and get doused in Gatorade. Look at this weird jelly stuff they have on the wall, but it looks pretty cool. I love these little Vikings figurines they have here. That looks like a real Vikings player, and this guy looks like, I don't know, he might be a tad out of shape. They've even got the Vikings injury cart, designed just for the Vikings, with the purple steering wheel. That is so cool. And the Vikings helmet. And then of course, the place and back for the injured players to be able to sit down and get looked at. And even comfortable seats for the trainers to sit on. We don't like seeing it on the field, but it really is cool to look at though. Well, you guys, I'd say this has been another successful episode of Tommy Travels the Second. And if you guys liked what you saw here today, go ahead and hit like on my YouTube channel. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit subscribe and the little bell notification next to it. Just gives you future updates on videos that are yet to come. This has been an absolute blast at the Vikings Museum. There was a lot of cool history in there. So if you ever get in the area, make sure to check it out. You guys, thank you so much for all of your support that you've given me, starting off with my brand new channel here, daily vlog channel. And I hope to catch you on the flip side.